Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm the team leader for Pathways Young Person Service. I'm here based in the office because we're still working in the offices from here. So apologies if the phone rings or the door knocks.
Hi, I'm Wendy. I'm working from home at the moment. I am working for Curo as mediation worker. As well as Chloe, if the phone goes or an email pings, I apologise because working from home primarily and going out to homes when we've got visits to do.
So we wanted to talk to you about what our mediation service is, and I think Wendy's probably best placed to tell you about the work that she's been doing throughout lockdown. So Wendy, did you want to say a bit about what the service is?
Yeah, so Curo provides a service to anybody in Baines, and our service is for young people between 16 and 25. Generally, we will take referrals from the housing gateway. These are people that are declaring themselves as homeless and they're looking for somewhere to live. But quite often, if they've gone through Baines to apply for housing, quite often there's room for mediation, which means then I will work with the family, with the young person and the parent or carer to help them maybe to stay at home for longer, maybe to stay at home indefinitely, or while they're waiting for accommodation unavailable for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, to add to that.
Yeah, and the Baines Housing Gateway, so lots of people access that through housing options if they attend there to present that they are homeless for whatever reason, but you can access it through the Baines website at any time. So we do take lots of self-referrals, and Wendy recently created a paper version of a referral to make it more accessible, particularly to the younger age range, to support through COVID. So there is a paper version as well that people can request if they need to, and we'll put the email address up on the tagline when we post this up. So yeah, hopefully we can make it accessible for everybody. What does a typical mediation session look like, Wendy, when you're meeting with a family?
Okay, so I go into the home. I'm working from home doing my admin work, but when it comes to mediation, it's better face to face because we want everybody to feel comfortable. Both the young person and the parent or the carer or the two people that have the dispute both need to be in agreement and want to take part in mediation. So what will happen is I'll talk to one party, then the other, and then we get them together and I will help them to come up with ideas of how to sort out their disputes, basically. All right, so quite often neither of them want to be in the situation which is ongoing and made them, refer themselves or be referred for mediation. So coming up with solutions and ideas to help them to work through their issues amicably, really. And it's me trying to facilitate them to come up with the ideas because it has to be doable for them. It's no good me coming up and saying, oh, you need to do this or you need to do that. Actually, the two people need to come up with the solutions of how they're going to work together to improve things for their futures.
Absolutely, and sometimes it's decided a successful mediation isn't about somebody staying at home, it's about everybody in the household being happy with the outcome, whether that's staying or moving on to somewhere like Pathways. So sometimes a lot of Wendy's work is about that transition support as well. So it's not just about the mediation, it's about what happens after the mediation and before that. So yeah, there's a lot of support around putting sort of support services in place for people and signposting them to make sure that if they do then decide to leave the family home or carers home or wherever it is they're living, that they've got all the support in place that they need to do that successfully. Yeah,
and as Chloe said, sometimes it is the best thing for the person to leave home. Whatever the situation, it's different in every household. But even still, when a young person leaves home, it's still nice to have that option for them to work with me as the mediator to help them work on rebuilding the relationship that's obviously broken down.
Absolutely, and we do work with people after they've come into service as well. So they may be living with Pathways or the foyer, and then they may decide that actually now I've had space away from my situation, I'd like to work with mediation to build that relationship back up with mum or a carer or grandparent or whoever it is, so that that relationship can build again. And we often see then that residents are spending sort of a Sunday with their family, when before and they were leaving, that didn't seem like a possibility. So we can kind of use it in that way and use our services to give people space as well from their situation.
Yeah, so there's several ways that people can, make contact or refer themselves or somebody else for mediation. We're going to put a link on the chat so that you can have a look. I can be contacted by phone, by email, by text message, WhatsApp message, and I'm happy to, come out and talk to you as soon as possible. Try to make contact is almost immediately, and we'll, be happy to come out to the house within a few days to have a visit.
That's it, yeah. And we do, as you said, have a text number, so that if people aren't feeling confident to make that initial phone call just for advice or guidance, then they can send a text, which can be easier, particularly sometimes for our younger people that we're working with. So that's always good as well. In sort of these times, obviously our home visits are sort of done in a COVID safe way. So we wear PPE when we go into the homes, and lots of visits where possible are outside the home. So it might be going for a walk or sitting somewhere distanced at this time, and where possible over the phone and via video. It just depends. Some people prefer that face-to-face contact. So if we can do that safely, then we will.
And we've also been really successful with working with other services in Baines. So we've made paper referral that I think Chloe mentioned earlier that some of the other services have access to. So, for example, Youth Connect Southwest, Project 28 and Off the Record all have our referral forms so that they can personally refer somebody that they are working with if they think the families will benefit from mediation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we work with lots of other services across Baines. So yeah, anybody's welcome to refer to us. I think that's probably all for now, but I think there'll be lots more hot topics coming out on the Curo Facebook and Twitter pages, and we'll put up all the information that we've talked about today for you to access our service.